Sup nerds, R2 here. Gonna show you some books. There's one. We got the paths. Paths. I don't know why that's so hard to say. The paths of the Perambulator. The fuck is the Perambulator? I don't know. This is Alan Dean Foster. That's the only reason I picked it up. Alan Dean Foster, Paths of the Perambulator. Didn't realize it was a volume 5. It's part of the Spellsinger range. Never heard of it. I'm guessing it's a fantasy. Yeah, Orbit book fantasy. Well, there you go. There's 5 in this series. I have book 5. I don't know if that's all of them or not, but yeah, I like Alan Dean Foster. I have a few of his books. I do want to get his version or his book of The Dig, just because that game is fantastic, and I just want to read it. I've only ever played that game. I've only ever beaten that game once, so I feel like I need to revisit it, and I can't be bothered playing the game again. I got this Douglas Adams book called Space Titanic. No, it's not called that at all. It's called Starship Titanic. Terry Jones wrote it, but it's a Douglas Adams story, I believe, or idea. I have pretty much everything Douglas Adams, Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy related down here. Can't see. No, you can't see. But this just sounds really good. It's it seems a little bit YA-ish, but yeah, it might not be. But basically, it's what you think. It's like Titanic in space, but from what I understand, all the crash and stuff that happens is like right at the front of the book, like the start of the book, and then the rest is about why and how and stuff. So I don't know. It just seems really interesting and a bit sort of funny and sort of slapsticky. I could be completely wrong, but yeah. Look at the... You know Terry Jones. Terry Jones, British comedy writer with... does a lot of Monty Python stuff, right? Look at the picture of him in the back of this book. That's fucking gold. That's so good. To me, that's Terry Jones. And then what? I got all these blank pages too. Like they're just blank pages. Anyway, yeah, this is fantastic. That's great. I think on average, not including the last 2 books that I'm going to show, but because all these books were from the op shop except for the last 2 books, but the op shop books were, I think, average about $2 each. So pretty good. I got this one, sort of a mini trade paperback. It's called Invasion, the part of the Chaos Trilogy by John S. Lewis. I think this is a little bit YA as well. I actually got a few YA stuff, which is cool because I enjoy YA. Why not? This is book 1 of a trilogy. Did I say that? Yeah. But there's apparently over... Oh no, okay, so it's co-author of the acclaimed Grave Griffin series with over 850,000 sold. Yeah, it just it says an unstoppable cyborg mix of Fringe meets the X-Files. That's why I picked it up, because it was a mixture of Fringe. Can't speak. Fringe and X-Files, and X-Files is like my favorite show in the entire world. So I don't know. I got this. I really need to watch Fringe. I've heard that's really good, but I just never got around to watching it. So yeah, alien-y / supernaturally or something. I don't know, but yeah, Invasion. It might be all right. It could stay here for a while. I picked up an Ursula Le Guin duology, or a double story. It's got The Eyes of the Heron and The World for War. Oh fuck. The word for world is forest. Yeah, haven't read any of these 2 before. Never heard of these before. Ursula Le Guin wrote Is it Tales from Earthsea? I'm pretty sure that was her or him. I think it's a her. I do have behind this Batman Forever frame, I do have some Ursula Le Guin somewhere. Yeah, I just can't remember what ones they are. But this looks alright. It's just a basic fantasy, I would assume. Don't know. You'll have to tell me. But yeah. What's this one? Z for Zechariah. I wasn't going to pick this up. This is more... This is it's definitely a YA, but it's like a post-apocalyptic sort of last person on Earth type story. She's supposed to be... I'm struggling today. She's supposed to be the last person on Earth, or the last human the last survivor after nuclear holocaust. Her name's Anne. But then there's this guy that follows her, and his name is Zechariah. So you got A to Z. I thought that was pretty cool. I like the little pull quote on the back. It says, "Just as Adam was the first man on Earth, so this man must be Zechariah, the last." I just, thought that was really cool. So basically, he's stalking her, apparently or supposedly. He's stalking her, the last person on Earth, and she's like unsure whether he's there to help or hinder or whatever. So it's very YA. So, but that again, that's fine. But this one was only 50 cents. But again, on average, they're all $2 each. So yeah, I don't know. It just sounded really cool. It's Robert O'Brien. I don't know if I said that. He's written a lot. I think. Oh no. He's written a few. From 1975. Originally, like the story was from 1975, but that's a 1981 paperback or printing. So yeah, I don't know. It just sounded interesting. One of the last sort of Robin Hobb stories I got, or I needed rather, which is called The Inheritance. It's an anthology of tales, so short stories. Obviously, I really like my short story books, as you are aware. I know nothing about it, but it's Robin Hobb and Megan Lindholm as well. So I have had this book in the past, but I don't have it now, so I don't know what the fuck happened to it. But yeah, I really like Robin Hobb a lot. So I haven't read a lot, actually. I've only read 2 books, so I need to read more. But yeah, it was just there, so I got it. And I guess it's fantasy. So Robin Hobb writes a lot of fantasy predominantly. I got this one, Philip Palmer. Debatable Space. This is from... I've been picking up more modern-ish stuff recently, so I'm looking forward to sinking my teeth into some modern stuff. 2007. So, I mean, I consider that modern. Definitely. Because when I say modern, I don't mean vintage stuff, which I guess, makes sense. But, this is, just a space. Like a basic sci-fi, I suppose. Really don't know anything about it. If you know what it's about. It says, so crammed with startling ideas, scintillating prose, incredible aliens and plot twists that evokes wonder and admiration. It's a debut of rare accomplishment, so it must be his first book. So there you go. I won't read the backs of all these because it'll take too long. Okay, we got a fantasy here as well. I thought I got all them out, but that's all right. Frida Warrington, A Blackbird in Silver. I just got this because it was there, and this was another one that was 50 cents. And it is also book 1, but I don't know. I just like the cover. It's just a pretty cool cover. And it looks very sort of YA-ish, even though the writing is tiny as fuck. It also says it's science fiction as well. On the back, it says it's New English Library Science Fiction on the back. But maybe it's a science fantasy. I believe it's a science fantasy. So it certainly sounds like a science fantasy. And I don't know if Frida Warrington... I don't know if she writes... I don't know what she writes, so normally. So if she writes fantasy or science fiction. But yeah, I think it's just perhaps a fantasy set on a science fiction planet, maybe. I really don't know. But yeah, I got it. Got it anyway. Dennis Wheatley. Heard of him? Haven't read him. This is The Quest for Julian Day. Yeah, I really don't know anything about this one at all, but it's just, I like adventure type archaeology, style type stories as well. I've read a lot of those in the past, especially ones that are, about discovering Atlantis and stuff like that, like fiction works of Atlantis. I have a little small collection of those books. I like to read different authors, like fiction authors' interpretations of what they think Atlantis might be and how they'd go around finding it and stuff like that. It's just really cool. But yeah, this one's just called The Quest for Julian Day. It's basically just, they're looking for a treasure in a desert, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I really just really enjoy these books. I've got a bit of a guilty pleasure for cheap B grade, knockoff Indiana Jones films. So I've seen a lot. But it's from 1939 originally, the story. So that's another reason why I got it, because that's in the time, like pre-World War II is, a lot of adventurers going out and stuff like that. But this is a 1980 edition of the paperback, and it's from Arrow Books. So yeah, I don't know, just sounded interesting. I just finished reading a bit of an adventure-y type book recently from Harry Harrison, Montezuma's Revenge, which I didn't know what that meant until I looked it up, and that's quite humorous to me. But yeah, not really an archaeological book, but it is more of a sort of comedy of errors type adventure type story instead of his usual sci-fi. Yeah, but it's quite good. I got another Anne McCaffrey that I didn't have, and that's Lion's Pride. It's got a great cover. What an awesome cover. I know it doesn't seem like much, but it just, I mean, if you know, you know. It's just a cool cover. I like that style. This is volume 4 in her Tower and Hive series, which I know nothing about. So, and it's a 94. So there you go. Definitely looks like a early 90s, mid 90s. So, speaking of Atlantis, I got this one, Atlantis Gate. I mentioned I have a collection of books about Atlantis and finding it, just rediscovering Atlantis and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, so I picked this one up because this one seems a little bit more sci-fi-ish Atlantis, whereas the other ones I have, which maybe I'll do a video one day down the track showing some of them, because I don't think a lot of these would be known, but they're more archaeological discoveries, whereas this one is, I think, more of a sci-fi type one. And this one is by Greg Dunnigan, or Dungan. I'm going to say Dunnigan. Greg Dunnigan. I don't know. Atlantis Gate. Berkeley Books, and it's from 2002. I actually thought it was a bit earlier than that. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. This is definitely a YA, and I got this because it sounds really cool. And the cover, I wasn't going to get it, but again, it was 50 cents. But it's a little penguin one, and it's from John Wyndham, and it's called the Chrysalids. It rings a bell, but I could be just getting this confused with something else. But it's essentially about it's got. I'll just read this little back because I don't want to. I don't want to get it wrong, but it's a terrifying story of conformity and deformity in a world paralyzed by genetic mutation. So, in the Chrysalids, John Wyndham takes the reader into the anguished heart of a community where the chance of breeding true are less than 50%, and where deviations are rooted out and destroyed as offences and abominations. The narrator of Chrysalids is David, who can communicate with a small group of other young people by means of thought shapes. This deviation from a cruelly rigid norm goes unnoticed at first, but sooner or later the secret is bound to be discovered, and the results are violent, horrific, and believable. But that just sounds really cool. I like the idea of the conformity behind it. And, you know, it might have a little bit of, like, fucking George Orwell to it, 1984. But, yeah, I think it's a little bit appropriate for the time. Maybe not so much at the moment, but, you know. And it's from 1955. The story, at least, from 1955, which is, you know, the 50s, early 50s is my favorite era for sci-fi. And that's because of Simic. and I love Clifford Simic, so I've read a lot of his short stories, and a lot of those I think were from the early 50s that I enjoyed. But yeah, I don't know. It just seemed really cool. As I said, I wasn't going to get it at first, but I was like, meh, I read it and I was looking into it. I was like, yeah, I'll get it. I'll pick it up. It's a quick, easy read. It's only a couple hundred pages, so. I got this one, probably one of the most recent ones, and it was just because it was in a little tub of buy 6 books for $2, and I only found 3, so she only charged me $1. So this was only like 33 cents. So it's the only reason I got it, and it's by Marcus Sedgwick, and it's called Mr. Memory. So it's a full-on trade paper, and it's got the original price sticker on there for $35. Now that's fucking crazy. But I got this one, and it's set in Paris in the year 1899. Marcel Dupree is arrested for the murder of his wife and transferred to the famous Salpêtrière Asylum. Fuck, I'm going to have to figure out how to say some of these words. And there the story might have stopped. But the doctor assigned to his care soon realized that this is no ordinary patient. Marcel Dupree, Mr. Memory, is a man who cannot forget, and the policeman assigned to his case soon realized that something else is at stake, for why else would the criminal have been hurried off to hospital, and why are the superiors so keen for the whole affair to be closed? I don't know, it just, that whole idea of not being able to forget, and you remember everything. There was a Marvel character that couldn't forget anything. He could remember, like, he could just remember everything, and and that includes pain and all this sort of stuff, so he can remember, which, I mean, that's terrifying to me, but I'd like to see what they do with it, that's all. I just thought it was an interesting concept, and it seems like a quick, easy read. It's only nearly just under 300 pages, so, yeah, I don't know, just sounded interesting enough, especially for 33 cents, so I picked it up. I think there was a couple of those other ones in that book, too, but I can't remember. I got this one because I just saw Irobot, and I'm like, yes, I need to get that. This is called Irobot To Protect by Mickey Zucker Reichert. Apologies. But it's authorized by the estate of Isaac Asimov, so I'm guessing it's like is this a sort of a revisioned version of iRobot? I don't know. But yeah, I love that movie. It's not the best movie at all, but I quite enjoyed that movie, actually. And I like that whole concept of the 3 laws of robotics and stuff like that. So, and I need to read more Asimov-inspired works, I think. But yeah, that's pretty cool. iRobot To Protect. 2035, robotic technology has evolved into the realm of self-aware, sentient, mechanical entities. The future of the human race is to be inevitably linked with its most brilliant creation. The first law of robotics: a robot may not injure a human being or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. I know I read that really weird, but I don't have much Asimov, which is very disappointing. I got this. I don't know if I'll keep it because it's not the first one in the series. I think this is the second one. But it's Frederick Pohl, and it's a nice hardcover. I haven't read any Pohl before, but I've heard about him. So this is called Mars Plus. It also is by Thomas T. Thomas. I don't know who actually wrote this. Must have been a Frederick Pohl story or something. And Thomas T. Thomas wrote. Okay, they both wrote it. Okay, it's by Frederick Pohl and Thomas T. Thomas. Okay, my bad. From '94, and this is a first printing. Oh, it's Bane. Yeah, it's like I don't usually like Bane either, but I like the older Bane. But this is a first printing of Bane. Oh, well, first printing of this from Bane, I should say. But yeah, the first one is Man Plus. This is called Mars Plus. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably keep it. As I said, I'm not a big fan of Bane stuff, but their older stuff is pretty cool, especially the Timothy Zahn stuff that I got up there. But yeah, I haven't got many first printings or first editions or whatever the fuck they want to go. What do you want to call them? But yeah, I don't know. Cool. And then this was a great find. This was like $3, but with everything else, again, only $2. This is the Space Trilogy, complete trilogy by C.S. Lewis. Nice hardback. It's a 2016 version of it, I think. 2013 printing. It's a 75th anniversary collector's edition. I don't know if it's supposed to have a dust jacket. I really don't give a fuck. It looks pretty cool as it is. But this is all 3 books. Out of the Silent Planet, Perambulator, and The Hideous Strength. I just recently sort of read and watched the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe series. And, you know, all the religious God stuff aside, I really like those books and the movies and the series. I think it's a great world. I think it's a great concept. I just really like them. And I think they're very nostalgic for me as well, because this original series came out when I was a kid at the right time for me. So yeah, and we watched it in primary school and we read the books. So there was just, yeah, it's just something that I have a nostalgic sort of like hold to. So I really like those books. And I didn't know that he did science fiction as well. I only just sort of discovered that through a channel. I believe it was Science Fiction Reads mentioned it a few videos ago. And yeah, I was like, damn, I need to find that. And fuck yeah, I found it. So that's great. Hopefully it's just as good as the fantasy ones. So I'm sure it will be. But it's got a quote on here by J.R.R. Tolkien. I was so enthralled that I could not do that. Oh, man, I'm struggling. I was so enthralled that I could do nothing until I had finished it. So there you go. Basically, that's good enough for me. And then lastly, I got this. What a cute little book. I've got a few of these. This is the Classics of Modern Science Fiction, The Forgotten Planet by Murray Leinster. Introduction by George Zabrowski, forward by Isaac Asimov. Volume 6. I don't know if this is volume 6 of something, or it is just volume 6 of this, because the ones I've got. Oh yeah, see, I've got the classic Philip Jose Farmer, 1952 to 1964. This one's volume 4, so I don't know if this is volume 4 of this or if it's volume 4 of the classic Philip Jose Farmer. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah. And I have some others. I've got one other one as well somewhere. I believe I've got another one somewhere. I might not, but I think I do. But I might not. But yeah, that's got a cool cover. Never heard of this author, Murray Leinster. But I'm definitely going to, I think I'm going to read this one very soon. It's got a cool, miniature people fighting like giant, like a normal sized spider. And the story is from, let's see. Wow, he's written a lot. Books by Murray Leinster. He's written like 40 odd books and then a few stories. There's heaps there. Oh well, good on him. So it was first published in Australia in 1986. So The Forgotten Planet is based upon Mad Planet and Red Dust. Copyrighted Amazing Stories 1926 and 1927. So it's from 1954 originally, the story, which is based on a couple of stories from the 20s, late 20s. And this is the first Crown edition, published in 1984. Oof, good year. I'm just trying to find out who the cover artist is or was on this. I should be looking up that more often because some of this artwork is amazing. Well, a lot of these covers, a lot of these artworks are fantastic. I can't figure it out, but yeah, anyway. Yeah, unreal. Unreal. I know a place that has a lot of those, like a secondhand bookstore that has a lot of those, which I'll probably go and pick up. A lot of those different volumes. And then I just treated myself because I could. I went to a bookstore. I picked up this. This is fucking unreal. This is possibly my favorite pickup. This is the Dragon Ball Z manga, but it's called Dragon Ball. That time I got reincarnated as Yamcha. So basically, I'm going to read you the back. A Dragon Ball's fan's greatest dream is getting to live in the Dragon Ball universe and fight alongside Goku and his friends. One particular fan thinks he's living the dream when he suddenly dies and is reborn in the Dragon Ball world, but he's in for a rude awakening when he realizes he's been reincarnated as... I can't even read it, it's so funny. When he realizes he's been reincarnated as everyone's favorite punching bag, Yamcha. That is so funny. Yeah, it's a very, very short story, and I actually haven't read it yet, but I'm going to read it as soon as this video is done. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And then I got this because I've always wanted a complete version of The Wizard of Oz, and this is one of those awesome modern day books that are made to look like the olden days, and I have a few of these. These are available at basically every bookshop here in Australia, possibly even around the world. I couldn't tell you, but I know you can get these from Costco, all the bookshops around here. I can't remember which bookshop I got it from. QBD has these as well. This has the first 5 novels from The Wizard of Oz, so this is a good start. This has The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, The Marvelous Land of Oz, Ozma of Oz, Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, and The Road to Oz. I don't actually know. I'm assuming that's in order, and it is the first 5 novels. It better be. But I don't know how many there are after this one. I really love the cover. It's absolutely gorgeous. It was $50, so I'm not including this in with those other ones in terms of averaging the price out, because then it wouldn't really work. But I treated myself because I've always wanted this, and I have a few others from this that sort of look like this, so I wanted to have a shelf with these sort of books on there. But I love it. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. It is definitely worth the $50, and yeah, happy to have it. Jeez, really struggling. It's got awesome artwork in there. If you know that picture, whew, that's a horrifying picture right there for reasons. But yeah, it's got some awesome artwork. And looking at this artwork, sort of makes you appreciate the Return to Oz movie a little bit more, because they've got a lot of that artwork from there. And I've seen the original animation from the 80s as well, so that's pretty cool that they've taken inspiration from that, or vice versa. But yeah, that's really good. Glad to have that. So that's all I got the past couple of weeks. As I said, probably do these every couple of weeks so they're not too long. Thank you everybody for sticking around, for those that stuck around, and let me know in the comment section down below which ones of these you've read, if there any are better than the others. Let me also know in the comments on what you're reading, or if you've got a video, if you do a series like this yourselves, let me know in the comments too, because I'd love to check it out. But until the next time, guys, stay safe, take care, enjoy the books, whatever you're reading, and yeah, just be good. Be good.